All right. Further discussion on the handout that you'll see on there, you're going to see that Peleg is stretched down from the time when he was born until the time that he dies. Just a little detail that I couldn't put on the screen. I couldn't get this to replicate up there, but that's, I think, the only thing that really changes. But we just covered everything up to Matthew. Really, not everything that's important, but everything that I see as just mission critical of time. And some of those aren't even mission critical. Some of those are just like, well, why did he put that up there? The land where Moses had cast out giants is conquered by Israel in 1399. Well, but we know there were giants 1,400 years before Christ? Really? Anyway, cool.
I want to remind you when you watch a basketball game, NBA style, and you see the concentration of ladies and gents who have maybe a son playing out there or whatever else, and they are considerably in the 6'10" range.
Oh yeah.
And,
yeah. Short parents don't necessarily have tall kids. Yep. Unless they're somewhere back a generation or two, who knows? But well, I can't think of anything else. Obviously the focus for the first couple thousand years until 2000 or 2100 or till that end of when Peleg died was this map that's on this sheet here. This Nimrod's, the kingdom of Nimrod. And of course that encompasses Israel, Iraq, Iran, Syria, all those that are in that Middle East. Is so important to understand that. Well, where was society? Where was where were the living people? They were right there for 2,000 years, and then they got spread out. We had an interesting conversation with Sonia a night or two ago about a thing called Tartaria. Now, I'm not going to put it on the main video, but I'll put it on this video to say we should be asking questions about a place called Tartaria, Tartaria. It is quite possible, and have I studied this out to the nth degree? No. But it is quite possible that the Tartarians, or Tartary, were the ones who built the Great Wall. To keep the Chinese out from invading them in Russia. Now that sounds crazy. And so we should truth that out. We don't know if that's actually true. But if you look at the border of what was claimed to be Tartaria, and the Mongols are part of that, okay? And it's a huge landmass. And it existed up until certainly 1777 and maybe even a little bit later into the early 1800s. But we should just look at our history and look at everything so we understand it. And again, there's a lot of falsehoods about Tartaria, but the dynasties that were the victors tend to write history and tend to write the rules, and that maybe isn't our history. And I even had as recently as several months ago, I would have had on here when the Great Wall of China was in about 500 BC. I don't think that the Great Wall of China was probably built in 500 BC. So, anyway, yes, sir.
Would Goliath have been part of Moses' giants?
Definitely in that area of, he would not have been claimed by Moses, but definitely that is the area. So I don't know that I have a map, but I could look for one here. Where is my, there it is. I could look for, let me just pull up Google Map. So that's where we are. Let's go over here to so the Sea of Galilee, which is this bugger right, if you can see my mouse there, that is the Sea of Galilee, okay? The giants that they defeated were right over here to the east. It doesn't say it, but that's where the giants were in about 1400-ish BC. And that's where Moses had fought about them, and then these guys were conquered by Israel. And I can, the names of the towns escape me right now, but many things are escaping my memory recently. But anyway, this is, of course, I'll zoom out to where we have Israel, and in a general sense, Israel is about here. Okay, and now Israel is just this here and this wide, right? Very, very small Israel. The Jordan, this right here is when they initially crossed over into Israel, but they had lands over on the east side of, this is the Jordan River that they crossed, but they had lands. A couple of the tribes had Dan and golly sakes, again, they all escape me, but and on that side, but they would have conquered this area right up in here. And yeah, but yep, the giants, and I don't know that we ever have the giants are gone moment in history. I would tend to believe that there still are descendants of giants, and descendants that are possibly even living in hills and underground and things like that. We definitely didn't get rid of them during the flood. Definitely did not get rid of giants during the flood. So I think that's, and Scripture certainly would not support that all the giants were gone, because we know of one that was named Goliath. Right? And he was named when? Around the year 1000, right? We know that. David, the whole thing. So 1,000 years before Christ, we know there were giants. Huh. Right? The Bible's just becoming a little bit more timely and orderly when we think about stuff like that. So, yeah, I wish I had a good map to show you where those are. Let me look in here. I have notes of most everything. Let me think if I can find it. He's completed. Not Goliath. Not completed, maybe. Nope, I probably won't find it, but these are all the things that I have to do, that I need to do. I guess you don't need to see all my business, but these are all the studies that we... Anyway. Tribes of Israel. There's not a bad map. There we go. Not bad. So remember, we said it went just a little bit over here. Manasseh. You got on both sides, obviously, but here's Judah. Remember, we talked about Judah being kind of the central of where Israel is now, but it's really towards the south. This is what David was first the king over, and then he became the king over all of it a few years later. So there's just a separation kind of from Judah, but Judah is kind of like our modern day Israel, if you will. Gaza Strip to the south, you know. Anyway.
So do you have Bashahan on there?
I don't even know the name of that town. Is that what it's saying where the giants were?
That's the kingdom of Og.
Oh, Og and Magog. Huh. Yeah, Og would certainly, I think, be around here. Edrei, that was an Ashtaroth.
Yep.
Those were where the giants were that it talks about. Yeah. So maybe.
Because that's where Moses cast them out.
Yeah.
Those two locations.
Right, because they were there, and wherever they went beyond that, yeah. Edrei, I don't know how to say those words, but anyway. Yeah, here's that Jordan River, okay? The Dead Sea or the Salt Sea is what it's oftentimes, anyway, just lots of good stuff. I mean, timing, map. If we can get some of this down, then we have you all sitting here and me sitting back there. Wouldn't that be a great day? So, anyway. We've said this before, but the 11 tribes got land. 12th tribe didn't get land, right? We have a reason for that, and we know that tithes are because of that and everything else. That you had Ephraim and Manasseh both out of the tribe of Joseph that got they got extra land, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm just mumbling from here on out, but yeah. Well, any other thoughts, questions? No. Next week we're gonna do we'll do the timing of when Jesus was on the earth, and up until maybe a little bit past Christ. We'll probably go from about 0 to about 70 and spend all of next week on that. And then we really won't have any more than biblical timeline after the year 70, because it ends at 70. There's nothing being written and recorded. Scripture is complete at the year 70. But we just have many other things that we have discussed in the past, such as when was the Muslim faith or whatever, when was that invented? When did it begin? When did Catholicism begin? When did all these things that came well after Christianity started, when did all those things begin? And so we'll kind of put those in order too. It'll help us. More dates, but we'll probably have about, of the 25 dates that we gave today, 15, at least 10 should be very stuck in our head. And then we'll have 10 from when Christ when Jesus was here on earth, and then we'll have maybe 10 after that. Boy, with 30 dates in our heads, we kind of have history. Right? So, all right. Thanks.